Job shadowing is a key way for high school and college students to shape their career path. But what questions should you ask while job shadowing? Well, in this video, I'm gonna highlight for you questions you must ask during your job shadowing experience to maximize the opportunity. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Ryan Corte, and this is Ryan Reflects. On this channel, I provide you with actionable personal development content, as well as my thoughts on common life experiences and trending topics. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, throughout any point in the video, make sure you check out the notes and links in the description below. Throughout this video, I'm gonna break questions down into a few main categories: questions about an actual profession, about a specific company, about a position within that company, and then some general job shadowing questions that you should have in mind. Let's start with questions about their profession. And typically these questions help you understand a little bit more about the person and how they got into that profession. So you can ask, hey, what was your undergraduate major? If they went to graduate school, what was your graduate school major? How has your career changed since you got into this profession? And what did you actually need to do? What steps did you need to take to get into this profession? What are some growth opportunities within the profession that maybe the outsider really wouldn't know? I know in my profession as an optometrist, you can see patients, you can do research, you can work in industry. There's a lot of different pathways. So it's a really key question to ask. You can always ask, hey, how was your work-life balance? How have things changed over the years that you've been in this profession? And where do you see this profession in 5, 10, 15 years? You know, professions change over time. There's a lot of new technology coming into the marketplace. It's always important to ask, hey, how are things going to change? Or how do you feel things are going to change? And honestly, one of the best questions to ask is, what advice did they have for somebody who is looking into this career pathway or profession? A lot of times people have been in the industry or been in a specific role or position or profession for a long period of time have a lot of outstanding insight, and their advice is invaluable. The next bucket of job shadowing questions I recommend you ask are questions about the specific company that person works for. In particular, you can ask, hey, what are some of the pros and cons of working for this particular company? Tell me a little bit about the office culture or the company culture, their mission, their core values, their goals. What have you learned while working for this company? You can also ask, hey, what is the hiring process like? What steps did you have to take to get the role that you're particularly in? And how do people get to know each other, right? Is it truly remote work where you only see each other via Zoom and virtual conferences? Are there actual in-person meetings and a lot of office time? Do you have to travel? Does the company known for shifting people around the country or the world? You can always ask, hey, what makes this company unique? And how do the executives of the company interact with the team? Are they a phone call away, an email away? Are they several levels out? How are you going to be able to engage with them? Are you gonna be just another person that works for this massive corporation? Or are you gonna be somebody where they know you by name and maybe they get to know your family a little bit? Of course, some of the more obvious questions to ask are questions about their specific position. So you can say, hey, is this more of a team position, or is this a position where you're solely by yourself? If it is a team position, how do you interact with other teammates? What does that even look like? What is a day in the life of you? And I know I'm shadowing you, but what does your typical day look like? How does that day change throughout the week, the quarter, the year? You can ask, what can prepare you the most for the position? And is there any opportunity to work remotely? Do you have a feeling that your position is going to change or evolve over time? Is it something that you'll see around in 5, 10, 15 years? How much of that position is spent sitting at a desk? Or are you moving around? Are you jumping into different departments, having a lot of meetings in person, face to face? Is it spent staring at a screen all day? Or is it spent out and about and interacting with patients, clients, customers, whatever it may be? Is there a lot of travel involved in the position? Do you feel like that travel is gonna be driving? Or is it gonna be flying? Or is it just really minimal, or is it seasonal? And what advice do you have for somebody who is interested in this position that is just starting out their career journey? How do they get to the level that you are now and learn more about what steps they need to take to obtain a position like yours in the future? These last job shadowing questions are some of my favorite. Like, you could ask somebody, hey, can you walk me through what your career path or your career journey has been? What would you change about that journey? What do you really feel has been a pivotal point in that journey to get you to where you are today? What do you enjoy the most about your job, and what do you enjoy the least about your job? What skills are needed within your career path, and what other opportunities are available that maybe aren't in the direct pipeline of what you're doing right now that you can always evolve into. So if somebody's in sales, they can go ahead and move into maybe a managerial position. They could get an administrative position within the company, rise kind of the hierarchy. Everybody has different pathways that they can go in that aren't just specific to what they're doing on their day-to-day basis. What are some things that maybe surprise people about your career or about your current role? What are some challenges that you currently face in your career or your profession? And how has your profession evolved over time? That's really a key one, right? How has technology shifted or changed your profession? And do you feel like it's gonna be a viable career path to go into in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Would you recommend going down the pathway that you've gone down? Okay, I feel like I fueled you with a lot of questions to ask during your job shadowing experience. Of course, don't overwhelm or bombard who you're shadowing with every single one of these questions, but hey, if you have questions that you can ask during the shadowing experience is great, but if you forget them, you can always email them or message them down the road. What are some of your favorite job shadowing questions? Make sure you share them in the comments below, and make sure you stay tuned for my next video where we can reflect and grow stronger together.